Alright, we're back up. We are finally running again, and we're getting in right now for the monster. For Beat the Meaty, it is Girthzilla we are looking at right now. Girthzilla, this is round 3, and he's playing a little bit of old school Goliath right now. They got E-Griff on their side, played by Tag the Monster of Nice Little Advantage, aka NLA. Let's go ahead and see how this pans out. We're seeing Girthzilla right now taking a pretty standard feed path, trying to get all the big meat right in the beginning. We do have the some decent buffs if you head up this way too. That should be spawning by the time he gets back in that area. The current score right now is 2-0. Noodles has lost both of his games, I believe. Noodles has lost both of his games. So Beat the Meaty is up 2 currently. And away he goes. So we're gonna have the first dome come down right now, and it looks like he does not have a loop, but the good news is they don't have a god dome either. If anyone's wondering, a god dome is when you have that little gap pop up there that, you know, the hunters can fit through, but the monster can't. So Girthzilla right now is gonna try and take out support, would be my guess. And yep, he's going in on him right now. He's going in on N7 Illusional, who had a rough go of things yesterday, because when you play Hank, you're gonna be public enemy #1. Akath doing a good job trying to keep him healed up, though. Charge comes through, connects, manages to get some good damage in on Facio Vita as well as N7 Illusional. But N7's boosting out. We are seeing some good harpoons right now from Tag the Monster, trying to lock him down in place. Tag the Monster's a fellow streamer, by the way. And we are looking at a pretty standard first dome. We're not seeing a lot of monsters in tourney racking those strikes up in those first domes. And usually they get away with about 2 bars of health missing, and I don't think this is going to be any different here. So we're seeing Girth popping those abilities. Let's have a look at perks and everything. We got what I believe to be Traversal. We have Grounder. Grounder, I think we're going to be seeing like every single monster running. It's just that good of a perk right now, and it's the reason why they're toning it down with the next patch. We're going to be seeing Grounder toned down a bit. It's just very strong. The hunters right now running various jetpack perks as well as, you know, cooldown reduction and move speed. Let's go back to the hunter side, see what's going on here. Looks like Girthzilla probably gonna go for stage 2 very soon. I mean, he's ready. I think he's just trying to shake the hunter squad and try and find himself a little bit better spot to evolve, which is tough. I mean, when you're being hunted by a decent trapper like Tag, and especially when it's Electro Griffin slowing you down, you're gonna have a tough time. You're gonna have a tough time. So this is an area right here where I don't like to evolve normally, because if you get domed here, this is a very tough spot to fight. This rock can be a pain as a monster when you're trying to get a hold of the hunters, but well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. My guess is they're going to dome him here. Let's see how he hangs. Going to go with a 2-2-1-2 build, which fairly common build that we see, but personally, I'm much more of a fan of the 3-1-3 because you get you that extra damage, but let's see how it works out. You know, that's the beautiful thing about the monsters in Evolve, is there's always multiple ways to play them, multiple ways to spec them, and everyone has their own unique style. And it looks like the Invisible Rock is going to take out N7 Illusional. We're seeing Girth. This looks like the build they are comfortable with, and it worked for them. It worked for them. They managed to get that strike. They managed to get that strike. Did a fantastic job with it. Facio Vita trying to stay up on him. Let's go back. We watch from the hunter's perspective right here. I love that elite skin there. I'm glad that they've started doing that. I'm glad they've started running with the elite skins. Girth trying to put some distance. Now, see, this is a smart move on their end. You always know when you're watching a half decent monster, because they'll try to lead the hunters uphill. Makes them burn jetpack, makes it easier to lose them. Because keep in mind, all right, you don't need to use jetpack to climb things now. However, it's still entirely possible that hunters will waste their jetpack climbing. Oh no, Megamouth problems. Looks like Tag momentarily walked into a Megamouth down there. You see it flopping off in the distance. But yeah, even though climbing's free currently, a lot of hunters will still burn jetpack trying to get up those cliffs quicker. Let's go watch from their perspective here. Looks like we have Akath trying to take the high ground, looking to get those trank darts in from a distance. And these guys did pick up the class cooldown buff, Facio Vita and Akath. I'm surprised N7 Illusional didn't pick it up. Or Tag, for that matter. But, you know, sometimes it's more important to chase the monster than to go out of your way to get a buff. Having it on medic is the important part anyway. We'll be seeing more frequent heal bursts from them. All right, Dome comes down. Girthzilla right now trying to take N7 Illusional out of the equation right off the bat. That orbital comes down and fails to connect, but does get a little bit of damage as Girthzilla chases N7 Illusional down. Great harpoon from Tag the Monster right there. Looked like it was like right at the max range. We are seeing those frequent heal bursts coming out from Akath because that buff right now is really helping him out. Let's see though. We're watching Girth get some really good combos in. If he can continue to do so, it might go in his favor, but they are into health damage right now. They're roaching around this rock. Remember last Dome I was telling you why those rocks can be tricky? This is why. If you look, they're using this rock perfectly, managing to avoid multiple abilities here. And great intercept from Facio Vita there. Not sure that it was quite needed though, because N7 Illusional already had done a good job juking it in the first place. We're seeing Girth getting ready for the Dome to drop. He knows he's taking damage, trying to save up his traversals and abilities so that he can get away, but he turns around last second, and great harpoons from Tag the Monster right now. And keep in mind, those harpoons are dealing damage right now too. They're dealing pretty good damage, and it's allowing the Hunter team to really beat on them. Girth trying to break line of sight right now desperately, and it looks like he's finally out of range of Griffin's harpoons and should be getting away. Might be too little too late. However, if he can make it to stage 3, we could see this turn around. And for anyone who's curious, we'll go through, look at the buffs right now. We are seeing, the perks rather, we are seeing Grounder, damage reduction, traversal on Goliath, as well as all kinds of quick swap, cooldown reduction, jetpack thrusters. The nice thing about jetpack thrusters for the hunters is that it kind of makes up for if your reaction time is off. You know, you get a little bit harder of a thrust, and that sounds all kind of wrong out of context, but with that harder thrust, it's easier to jetpack out of the way, even if your reaction time's a bit slower. The Dome's going to be up in 3 seconds, so Girth needs to continue to put distance as best he can. Let's go have a peek from the Hunter perspective here. Akath trying to get those darts in, but it looks like they haven't been lucking out quite yet. And here we go. They are running up on him now. Looks like they did get a dart in there, I think. Nope, not quite. Facio Vita burning Super Soldier, trying to make some distance up. That's one thing, that's one of the reasons I love Parnell personally. You know, I'm always popping that Super Soldier for that speed boost, trying to get up on the monsters, especially if you're running some kind of like cooldown. And they are within Dome range, doing some damage right now. Girthzilla ready for stage 3, but he's got to survive this Dome first. And I can tell you right now, looking at his health, he's either got to down 2 people or he will die in this Dome, is my prediction. Because if he takes enough damage to drop the Dome, he's going to be almost dead. And after that, it's going to be tough going from there on out, especially when you have a Griffin. Now, they are shredding his armor down. He's having trouble getting those wombo combos right now. Gets a little bit of damage in on Hank, but we're seeing ACAF doing a great job keeping that healing up. Anytime you're up against the beam team, you got to make sure you take out the Hank part of it first. Great harpoons from Tag the Monster here. Not enough to stop him from killing Hank. However, it looks like Girthzilla can get out of this dome now. It looks like a combination of 60% or 6% of his health mixed with 1 down was enough to get that dome down for him. Now, question is, does it matter? Does it matter? Can Girth get away with enough health for him to be able to go stage 3 and still be a contender? He does have 2 strikes on Hank, which is a recipe for success, but he's got to be able to mitigate that damage. He's got to be able to mitigate that damage. We are seeing the evolution right now. ACAF trying to catch up on him. Looks like they decided they want to move the field of engagement, though. They want to go set up in a place where they're more comfortable. I'd like to point out, too, we're seeing 3 charge here. This is something we don't see too often from Goliaths, but with charge being a much better ability now, it makes sense to see people experimenting with it. Although, I gotta be honest, because there's a Griffin, I think that prioritizing Rock Throw might have been a better call, because that's an ability that works regardless if you have a harpoon up your ass or not. Anytime there's a Griffin, Rock Throw and Fire Breath become important abilities because they're not dependent on you being able to move to your target. But, you know, different strokes for different folks. This is Girthzilla's style here. We'll see how it works for him. And here he is going in now. He's got that damage buff, which he picked up, but the Hunters did manage to pick up that traversal at some point, which is interesting. All right, good start there. They're trying to use the Pillar to Roach, but it looks like he is going to separate N7 Illusional from the team right now. And for some reason, we're not seeing Tag. Where's Tag right now? He must be trying to push damage right now instead of getting those harpoons in, because there we go. There's the harpoons. There's the harpoons. That should help him out. Let's see if this damage buff is enough. And he is going to whiff the rock right there. Tag continuing to harass with the harpoons. At this point, I would almost just try and drop Tag, who's going to be hindering you. But he's got a good start on an ACAF. Great connect there with that charge. And Rock Throw going to turn around, get Facio Vita with it. Facio Vita, keep in mind, their shield is up. The medic's low. This is a game that Girth still could win if he plays his cards right. Although, he needs to finish. He needs to finish. He's down. He could be killed with pistols right now. Here's the pounce. They're doing pistol damage. They're trying to take him down, but is it enough? I don't think so. I think BtM Girthzilla might actually get this. It comes down right to the wire, and he's going to take home the win. He almost died to pistol damage there, man. He almost died to pistol damage. That was a fantastic game.